Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to part 6, actually, of Martin's Music Memory Test, where I take a look at all these songs I have left over after I've been downsizing in there. Those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, that's all I got left. It's getting lighter, but it's still heavy. You know, these crates are always great for stuff. Anyway, so what I do is I just pick a couple of songs and see if I can actually remember the words at my age and stuff, or maybe something about them from my past, and maybe give you a chuckle and see if my memory's getting any better with everything. So here we go. So the first one I pick up. Okay, this one's called The World of the Goodies. Now, those of you who maybe have seen this before, this is about I've talked about the Goodies before. I bought quite a few of these albums when I was younger. I like the Goodies. There you go, that's the Goodies there, okay? And this is the back side, of course. That was you see that they got the tricycle, which I've been told is still owned by somebody in England. And this one, just your basic one, there's no words or nothing. So as you know, I go through the album and I see if I can remember any of the lyrics of this stuff. So let's start with side 1 of this one. Okay, first one is actually called All Things Bright and Beautiful. You know, those of you who used to go to school and sing that song, well, it's kind of like that. It's like, all things bright and beautiful, all creatures great and small. So this is a rock version of the old hymn they used to sing, you know. And so that was Bill Oddie. He was always trying that stuff. So I mean, I kind of liked him for that. I think that's why I got into him, stuff like that. And okay, and a lot of these songs that he had on this album, actually, you sometimes actually hear them on the actual TV shows, you know, because they always sing them in the background when they're doing the slapstick stuff, you know. Number 2 is called Ride My Pony. Ride, 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 ride my pony. That's basically that word, okay. Okay, number 3 was called Stuff That Given. Stuff That Given by the hand. Take everything by the hand. Do, 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 and do, do. I remember that one, actually. I don't know what it is. They were always into Gibbons for some reason. And I don't know what it was with the Goodies with that, you know, so... Okay, and number 4 was supposed to be a humorous one. It's called Mummy, I Don't Like My Meat. Mummy, I Don't Like My Meat. That one's a kind of a humorous song, actually, he did in those days, from what I remember. You know, because it was when things were bad and with the inflation in the 70s there in Britain, okay. Number 5 was called Show Me the Way. Don't know where I'm going, got my eyes closed. Show me, show me, show me, show me the way. I remember that song. It was kind of a weird religious song, not religious song, but a hymn like in that, you know, because I remember in the background there's a whole bunch of female singers, probably nuns in that. Okay, side 2 on this one, for instance, we know the Goody themes. Goody, goody, yum, yum, doodle, doodle. You can, those of you who remember that, we all know the Goody thing. The Sparrow Song. If I was a pretty little butterfly, if I was a pretty little butterfly, if I was a pretty little butterfly, go for the flutter. It's a stupid song they did, so it was kind of a funny one. Number 3 was one called Taking You Back. Yeah, I remember, I can't remember how to start. Something is down, and I'm taking you back to 20th centuries. So you see, it gets into that kind of stuff. Okay. Sunny morning, take me away on a sunny morning when the air is fresh and breeze, something like that. I remember that song. That was kind of a nice one. Number 5 was one I remember, Winter Sportsman, making fun of being a skier. Oh, I'd like to be a winter sportsman. I'd like to show the world what I can do. I remember that song. I actually used to sing that when I was skiing in Calgary. Okay, shh, don't tell anybody. I'll say one thing: when you're skiing and you have a song in your head, it kind of helps you move your rhythm to the swish when you're skiing. I'm not like all these young kids that can do the snowboarding. I can't do that. Space Hopper. We all remember. I don't know if you're my age, but you remember the Space Hoppers were coming out. Well, they made one. Oh, I'm your space hopper, gonna get you. It's a very funny song, you know, and I always thought I would use it in the TV show, but he never did actually. So so it's kind of a bouncy number, and I kind of liked it, you know. I remember it does finish kind of funny as well. So another one you could look at. So there you go. If you want to come across as in England, I would pick one of these up because you might not get them because they're not around anymore. So the world of the goodies, okay? Okay, so I'll only do one more this time so that I'm not driving some of you up the wall. I know, I mean, as long as you're watching this longer than 30 seconds, I'm kind of happy, folks. So like I say, folks, as I keep saying, remember to like it or you know, subscribe to me if you can, and that, or give me a comment in the comment section. I'd love, even if I know I'm a terrible singer, so you don't have to remind me, okay? Okay, I've just picked one up. I can't do the same band twice. I decided that, so just picking one up here, and here we go. Okay, oh boy. Well, if you're my age, this is now a classic. The Blues Brothers. You've got to admit that. Dan Aykroyd and Jim Belushi. You got to admit it's one of the it's a good movie. It was a good movie, wasn't it? You know, so you know, and all the bands there that were from Saturday Night Live. You know, I assume everybody's seen them. So, but I'll have to admit, looking at all the songs available here, I don't know if I remember them all. Because the first one is called "She Caught the Katy," and I can't barely remember that, but it's probably on the sign when they were driving the car. Okay. The Peter Gunn thing, we know the Peter Gunn theme, yeah. I go, give me some lovin', yeah, I remember that one, that's an old good one. Shake Your Tail Feather, well we saw Ray Charles do that one actually, that's brilliant. Shake Your Tail Feather, okay. My favourite of course was Everybody Needs Somebody to Love Some. I think it's one of the good classic ones they did, you know. And I don't see. There's a lot of these songs, you know, the big hits. I don't remember them when I was that age in those days. That's why I like what they were doing, you know. And you know, I think some of you guys can go online. You see that when they did the original Blues Brothers on stage. I remember that myself. I used to watch Saturday Night Live. It was good. So the other one's the Old Lammer, James Brown. Okay, I know the song, but it was a good dance number in my view, you know. And James Brown was so good, you know. And then we get to side two. We all know Think. You've got to think what you're trying to do. We all know that. We should all know that song. I mean, I do from my age. Rawhide, you know, that's one TV show I don't vaguely remember watching because we used to get a lot of westerns in Britain when I was a kid, but I don't remember Rawhide. I never even remember it on the on TV here in Canada. You know, so Minnie the Moocher, one of my favorite. Let me tell you about Minnie the Moocher. Cab Calloway, that was a really good one there. I mean, that was done really well for that one from the 40s, and he was in Sweet Home Chicago. That was a great hit that time. Sweet Home Chicago. Yes, let's face it, folks, that was a good one. I would recommend you get it. And of course, they did Jailhouse Rock. You know, went through a party at the county jail. We all know that song. Well, I know that song. I don't know if you young people do. You should learn that song. I mean, they're redoing it. I've looked on actually on YouTube right now, but I didn't like the version. It must have been AI or something, but some of it was missing, you know, so it didn't have the feeling anyway. So anyway, folks, so that's the Blues Brothers. I recommend you check it out and see the movie again. It was a classic. So anyway, so thanks very much for those two right now. So folks, so stay tuned. Like I say, for the next time when I do, that was part 6. I'll do part 7 next. Anyway, this is Martin Bell saying TTFN. Thank you.